Good day, fellow travelers, and welcome to our presentation on Italian Vistas. My name is David Summerad, and I'm the virtual event specialist for Collette. I look forward to sharing with you information about this amazing tour and destination. But before we begin this on-demand presentation, I have just a few housekeeping items to go over with you. First of all, if you have any interest in this tour after the presentation, be sure to reach out to your local travel advisor, your Collette Business Development Manager, or Collette directly. We just want to make sure that you're getting all the information that you need. So whether you're working with a group leader or a travel advisor, those are the people that you should reach out to next. This is mainly designed to be a broad overview of this tour. So if you're looking for specific details of departure dates, pricing, again, just consult with your travel professionals. So the Italian Vistas itself, it's one of our best-selling tours of Italy. It's a 13-day tour. There's 17 meals that are included, and we'll be seeing anything from Pompeii and the Sorrento coast to Florence and Venice and all of those iconic places that you think of when you think of Italy. So the tour you see right here on the map kind of showcases all of the quintessential Italian cities that we're going to be visiting. So starting off with Rome for 3 nights, we're going to be going down to Sorrento for 2 nights, and then heading up to Tuscany, where we'll be spending 2 nights in Florence, and then hitting Pisa on our way to Venezia, and then eventually ending in Stresa. This is an activity level of 3 out of 4, so please read the finer details as to what that actually entails, because I want to make sure that you feel comfortable while you're on the tour itself. And keep in mind as well, we have optional pre-tour and post-tour extensions. So if you care to spend a little extra time before the tour begins or after the tour, we can certainly help arrange that and would be happy to do so. So let's dive into the tour itself. Your first day is actually a travel day. So the first full day of the tour is day number 2. And this is where you'll be going into the Eternal City, Rome. It's just classic Italy, and it's what people think of when they think of ancient history, architecture, 3,000 years of globally influential art, architecture, culture, everything that you want out of a destination. It also houses the Vatican City, which serves as the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church. Tonight, we'll be meeting our fellow travelers for a special welcome dinner featuring regional delicacies and Italian wines. So on day number 3, which is the first full day of our touring in Rome itself, we'll embark upon a guided tour of classical Rome. So we'll be seeing anything from the baths of Caracalla to the legendary Aventine and Palatine Hills, Circus Maximus, Arch of Constantine, and then, of course, this beautiful place, the Colosseum. The Colosseum is one of the most recognizable structures of the Roman Empire, and it was built in the 1st century AD as a place of celebration for gladiator games and public spectacles. So definitely a must-see element of any tour of Rome. We're also going to meander through Rome's Renaissance district and visit the mythic Pantheon. This iconic building still features the world's largest unreinforced dome. We'll also be going to Piazza Navona. This is an amazing place. This whole piazza contains 3 different fountains. Piazza Navona is the one of the largest squares in Rome, but it also has the Trevi fountain, which I'm sure you're more familiar with. So be sure to toss a coin into its waters. Legend has it that if you do so, you will return to Rome, which is not a bad thing. So on day number 4, we're going to enjoy a full day at leisure to explore Rome's cultural treasures. Your tour manager will be on hand to offer suggestions and lend advice as to which direction to go. So whether it's the Spanish Steps or some of the optional tours that we do have available for you. So one of those is visiting the Vatican Museum and St. Peter's Basilica. This is a 4-hour optional tour. You also have the opportunity to do a food tour, which I would highly recommend. The food in Italy is amazing. Or you can just sit back and relax and get ready for the next day, because on day number 5, we're going to be heading south as we journey toward the brilliant Bay of Naples, where charming villages are built into the hillsides above this beautiful coastline. On our way, we're going to soak in 2,000 years of history during our discovery of the excavated ruins of Pompeii. Although Mount Vesuvius has erupted over 50 times, its most famous eruption was in the year 79, when Pompeii was buried and preserved under the layers of ash. A local guide provides an in-depth view of this remarkably preserved archaeological site. And then we're going to pause in nearby Gragnano for a late lunch and a visit to a family-owned pasta factory. And then, of course, continuing on to the scenic resort town of Sorrento, where we're going to be spending the next couple of nights. The peninsula itself is located between the Gulf of Naples and the Gulf of Salerno. And the Sorrento coast is home to the panoramic views of rock cliffs, small rocky beaches, and terraced gardens of olive and lemon trees. Great place to check out some limoncello as well. And then we'll enjoy the rest of the afternoon to explore the city independently. This is a fully guided tour, mind you, so your tour manager can lend advice and give suggestions of where to go and what to do when you do have that free time. We also have what's called Choice on Tour. These are not optional tours. It's just allowing you the opportunity to do a little bit of your own explorations with something that's actually included. So on day number 6, you have 3 different options. You can either choose to sail to the island of Capri, or go to Positano, or go to a Sorrento cooking class. So whatever fits your interest best, you have those options available to you, and Choice on Tour. On day number 7, we're going to head through Tuscany, watching the landscape of olive groves and vineyards unfold around us as we slowly but surely make our way up to Florence. And Florence is considered the cradle of the Renaissance, and I couldn't agree more. This was the epicenter of the art world, the architectural world. There was so much going on here, and it was all made possible by such people as Michelangelo and the de Medicis and the Machiavelli, Galileo, Da Vinci, Botticelli, Donatello. I mean, the names go on and on and on, but it all started right here. And this is an amazing city to just wander around. It's an ever-evolving museum of cultural history, overflowing with Renaissance art, towering statues, unparalleled architecture, modern artists selling their wares, and needless to say, a great place to visit. And of course, no visit would be complete to Florence unless you went to the Academy Gallery, which houses Michelangelo's famous David. This statue stands 17 feet tall, and it was actually originally designed to be showcased outside, but they decided after it was finished that it's far too beautiful, and they brought it inside into the museum. We'll also be enjoying a regional Italian cuisine at a local restaurant. We really make a concerted effort to incorporate more family-owned and local restaurants where the locals enjoy their food as well, to give you something that's really reflective and celebratory, and something that you won't soon forget. On day number 8, we're going to prepare for an eventful day as we tour the city of Florence. So the first day was kind of a glancing blow, if you will, but this is where we're going to dive deep into the city itself. We're going to join a local Florentine guide who highlights many of the city's priceless treasures. So as you see right here, picture the Piazza del Duomo. This is the center of religious life in medieval Florence. So we'll be able to see the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, known commonly as Il Duomo. The cathedral itself is most famous for its unsupported towering dome. We'll also be seeing the Piazza del Duomo and the gilded bronze doors of the adjacent baptistry dedicated to St. John. And then we're going to wander through magnificent Piazza delle Signore. with its imposing Palazzo Vecchio. The name of the palace translates to Old Palace, and this is because the new palace is across the river. And then the rest of the day is yours at leisure to do whatever you want to do. Pictured here is the Ponte Vecchio. All of these items are easily accessible and something that I highly recommend you check out. And again, your tour manager will be with you every step of the way to kind of point you in the right direction. You also have an option to take advantage of a Tuscan feast, which is 4.5 hours long. And all of the optional tours that I've mentioned thus far, you can either book before the tour actually begins, or you can just wait until the tour is actually started and get a little more information to see what you might be interested in while you're on the tour itself. On day number 9, we're going to explore the many historic sites in the ancient maritime republic of Pisa. And we're going to be visiting a UNESCO World Heritage Site known as Piazza dei Miracoli, which is the Field of Miracles. This piazza contains the towering Pisa Cathedral, the Pisa Baptistry, the Monumental Cemetery, and most famously, the Campanile. This is the bell tower, or famously known as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Construction of this tower began in 1173, but took over 200 years to complete. So the name of Pisa actually comes from a word meaning marshy land, which explains why the tower is sinking. And we're going to be exploring some more marshy land as we head north to Venezia. And then a special stop is made at a Tuscan winery and farm to enjoy lunch and sample local wines and specialties. We'll meet the people behind some of Chianti's finest wines. And it truly is so reflective and so delicious. And it's something that you can also thankfully take home with you. The next course of action is crossing over the Apennine Mountains en route to Venice, which is our next stop. And there it is, this iconic city. Venice is the regional capital of the Veneto region in northeast section of Italy. And here there are 117 islands that are all interconnected by a lattice work of 150 canals and 400 bridges. So early Venetians built their city on the islands to escape barbarian invaders. And today it's probably one of the most quintessential tourist destinations for people. And if you have never been, it is an amazing city. And of course, you'll have a local guide kind of showing you around, because on day number 10, we'll see Venice from water and we'll board a boat bound for Murano Island. And this is where they traditionally and historically created these pieces of art, the glassware that you will be enjoying. You'll be able to enjoy a demonstration, but also bring some of these home with you. And then when you return, we'll step off the beaten path and see for yourself how the locals live. What we're trying to do is incorporate more culturally inclusive activities, but also something that's a little more intimate. So we're going to explore the Castello district with a local expert. It's a walking canal by canal tour through the narrow streets all the way to St. Mark's Square. And this will give you a more intimate feel of how actual Venetians live outside of the main downtown areas that we'll be going to. We'll also be admiring the stunning basilica and the ornate facade of the Doge's Palace. The Piazza San Marco, or St. Mark's Square, is the political, social, and religious center of Venetian life. The remainder of the day is at leisure to do whatever you'd like to do. What I enjoy doing is just sitting back and having a cup of cappuccino and just watching life go by. It is a fascinating city, but the people watching is just as entertaining. And then, of course, if you're interested, we do have an optional tour so that you can do a serenaded gondola cruise, which is a very romantic and interesting way to see this beautiful city. Unfortunately, we do have to depart Venice, but rest assured there are more beautiful things to see. So we'll be departing Venice on our way to Verona, and we'll stroll the streets that were the backdrop of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. There's a small stone house in the city center, and it's said to be the home of the fictional heroine. And in the courtyard of the home, below a small balcony, is a bronze statue of Juliet that tourists pose with for a photo. And the city itself is home to a mix of beautiful buildings ranging from Roman amphitheater to medieval palaces. And needless to say, it's just another beautiful place to visit. We're eventually going to be making our way to Lago Maggiore. This is a resort town of Stresa, where the lake is found. And this is known as the Italian Lakes District. So Lago Maggiore is in the Gulf of Borromeo, which is the main attraction for the town because it overlooks the islands. In the 15th century, Stresa grew into a fishing community and then came under the control of the Borromeo family. But this is something that I find interesting. In 1918, Ernest Hemingway, who is one of my favorite authors, visited Stresa and then later made it the setting for part of his novel, A Farewell to Arms. So if you care to read some books before you go, that is a fantastic book. On day number 12, we have another choice on tours. So again, you can go in either direction depending upon what you're interested in. So it's either going to be Isola Bella, which is the palace that is dedicated to Isabel, who was the wife of King Charles III, or you can cross into Switzerland and enjoy a taste of the Swiss Alps with a panoramic drive up to the legendary Simplon Pass, admiring the Simplon Hospice dominating the landscape of alpine meadows and peaks. So the choice is yours. And then last but not least, tonight we will travel by boat to Isola dei Pescatori, which is where we will be enjoying our farewell dinner while surrounded by the beautiful scenery. It's an absolutely beautiful place to have a send-off to this amazing tour. If you're looking for more information, again, be sure to inquire with your travel professional, your group leader, or your Collette business development manager. I did note that there are pre and post extensions available. So if you're looking to go to Sicily, most people have never been to Sicily. If they go to Italy, this is a great 3-night pre-tour extension. So I would highly recommend this. And I wouldn't say that it's exactly like mainland, because Sicilians would argue that it's distinctly Sicilian and not Italian. But you'll be visiting places like Taormina and Catania and all of these beautiful seaside villages and towns that are absolutely beautiful. Of course, there's Roman history here that you'll also be enjoying while you're there. Or as I mentioned before, you could just sit back and relax in a cafe and just have a cappuccino and watch life go by. You will also see Sicily's wilder side on an off-road adventure to Mount Etna, and that's one opportunity for you to enjoy kind of the outer regions. And then on day number 5, you will leave Sicily to meet up with the main group for the ItalianVistas tours. So you will bid adieu, arrivederci, and go to Rome from there. The post extension would allow you the opportunity to spend 3 extra nights in Milano. And this is an amazing city in and of itself. It's a chic, sophisticated metropolis known for being a hub of high fashion. So if you're looking to just get some fantastic clothes on your adventure, this would probably be the best place to go. So with that being said, if you're looking to personalize your adventure, keep in mind that we can upgrade your airfare. We can help with these pre and post night extensions. The optional excursions we'd already talked about, you can book those before the tour even begins, or you can wait until the tour actually starts. But all of this information you can consult with your business development manager, your group leader, and or your travel advisor. Our No Worries Travel Protection, this is very noteworthy. It allows you to cancel for any reason up to 24 hours prior to departure, and you just get your money back, no questions asked. That's definitely the way it should be. And during the pandemic, we refunded upwards of $185 million. So please keep that in mind. And then you're covered while you're on the tour itself. So medical assistance, evacuation, baggage loss, all the things that you never anticipate until they actually happen. Well, we've got you covered. And then with our loyalty program, you'll be earning credit towards future travel with us. So it's just our way of saying thank you so much for joining us. And we hope that you'll come back and enjoy some more tours with us. And then, of course, this tour does require you to have a passport. More importantly, the passport must be valid for up to 8 months beyond the travel date to the destination country, because you will be going to Italy and have the opportunity to go to Switzerland as well. So if you do have any questions about this, pricing, departure dates, etc., again, just reach out to your travel advisor, your group leader, or your business development manager. But with that, I bid adieu, arrivederci, ci vediamo, and thank you so much for your time and safe travels out there.